Hi, in this session, let's take a look at disabling protocol passing and why you would do it, why you wouldn't do it, and how to reverse it if it's been done. So the hint is in the name. We're looking at how to disable the protocol analysis or the analysis of a given protocol. The better question is, why would you do it? And that would, depending on your environment, that's one that you really have to answer. I think as a general rule, let's say don't do it, because the Nozomi Network's technology is designed to be always enabled for every protocol. So disabling it has no real advantage in your environment. You're not necessarily going to get a performance improvement or anything like that, really. There may be some cases where that could happen, and if you've got sensors under extreme load, disabling some protocols may be an improvement. But generally speaking, the protocol passing is only used if a packet comes in and matches that protocol. Otherwise, that piece of code won't be accessed. So, why wouldn't you do it? So, if you're in an environment where maybe new devices are added to the network now and again, rather than just having, if someone comes along and puts a new device in your OT network, rather than just having it pop up as a new node with protocol other, it's kind of handy to have it pop up and go, oh, this is a new node and it's using this protocol, and you understand it right from the word go. But that being said, if you're working in a highly regulated environment, perhaps let's say an offshore oil rig, you're running a DCS, let's call it Delta V. Let's say you're running Delta V because that's what we're going to use in the demo today. You're running a Delta V DCS, and there's near enough to zero possibility that you'll ever install a Honeywell DCS on the same platform, on the same physical oil rig. Then maybe it's okay to disable all of the protocols associated with Honeywell. What you'd need to do, you would need to go through and make those decisions and do full risk analysis, work out the pros and cons before you went ahead with this. But let's not mess around. Let's get on with the demo. So what I've built for today's demo is a brand new, fresh virtual Guardian on my network. You can see here on the dashboard that there's no assets, no nodes, links, nothing. This is empty. And what we're going to do is we're going to run some traffic and prove that we can identify it. So I go to administration and into my upload traces, you can see I've got a PCAP in here called sample delta V. And if we run that, there we go. Now we go back to network and see what we've got. So we've now got two nodes have come up. And if we go into sessions, you can see here, this has come up and it's showing as predominantly Delta V traffic. And in our graph, we see, there we go, two endpoints with Delta V and some telnet and things going on. So this proves that by running that PCAP, we're recognizing the Delta V protocol. Now what I'm going to do is delete all the data off this Guardian. So we'll set it back to where it was. Then we'll run the command line interface command to disable the Delta V protocol. So if you haven't done a data reset on a Guardian before, maybe you haven't done the Nozomi Network Certified Engineer training, we go admin, we go data. I'm going to click only data and unselect or deselect traces because I want that packet capture to stay here. Reset. I type yes. And it goes through the data clear process. Okay, the data's clear. We'll go back to the dashboard. And again, zero assets, zero nodes, everything's gone. Now we'll go to the command line interface. Administration, CLI. And this is the command that we want to run. conf.user configure probe protocol delta V enable false. So this is looking into the entos.conf.user file, making a configuration change, and the command that will appear in the file is probe protocol delta V enable false. We hit enter and we get success true. So now we've disabled that protocol. Let's rerun the packet capture and see what the difference is. So again, I go to traces. I've got the same PCAP we had before, sample delta V, we run. It plays. We're now seeing 2 assets, 2 nodes, links, exactly what we saw before. Go network, sessions. Where we did have delta V before, we now have other showing up. We still have the same IP addresses. We just can't identify that protocol anymore. And imagine under the graph, it looks a bit different because we can't identify what the endpoints are. So we can already see some really good reasons for not disabling the protocol. Now we need to re-enable the protocol. So what I'm going to do, because this is built on my ESX host, I'm just going to flip over to ESX. We're going to dive in at command line, or at the SSH level, I should say. Dive into the SSH level and make the change. So jump across here to the ESX host. I'm already logged into the Guardian and I've escalated my privileges with the appropriate commands. And we're going to change directory to data config and nano into os.conf.user. So this is our into os.conf.user file. Super simple. And right at the very bottom, our last line will be probe protocol delta V enable false. So we just delete that like so. We write out the changes, exit. And the last thing we need to do, we have to do a restart on the Guardian subsystems to make that change, or to activate that change. Right, so the commands we need to run are into os stop all and then into os start all. So I've got the two of them here chained together, and let's restart the services on the Guardian. Okay, we've restarted those services. We'll flip back over to the Guardian now, and let's replay the packet capture and see if we're detecting again. So here we are, we're on the upload tracer screen, the sample delta V captures here. We hit play, it plays. Let's flip to the network graph. And now we've got an identified endpoints again, and identified PLC and an endpoint. And in the network sessions, we can see we've got our delta V protocol back. Okay, so that wraps up how to disable a protocol. Again, it's probably something you don't take lightly. It's a feature that's there to be used if it needs to be, but it's not something you should be doing every day, or necessarily maybe even at all. If you have any doubts or have any questions, let us know, get in touch. We'll put you in contact with one of our solutions engineers who will give you all the right reasons for why you do this and whether it's suitable in your environment or not.